Hello and welcome to another Unity game development tutorial. In this tutorial I will going to introduce you to the environment of Unity. In the Unity environment there are a lot of panes that you have to work with. For example, when you are developing your game, you are in a scene view. This is where you will going to be building your scenes. In a scene you have a directional light, which is shown with the help of this symbol. And then you have a main camera, which gives, when you are running your game, it gives you the main focal point. You can certainly add more than one cameras, and you can switch between the cameras, and that's something that can be done in a little bit of an advanced tutorial. And here in this corner you have your X, Y, and Z coordinates, so that's your perspective when you're looking at your plane. In Unity 5, you don't necessarily just have the plane, you also have the skyline, which was not available in the earlier editions of Unity. Also, if you want to display anything in the console environment, here's the console tab, which allows you to see the outputs. You can clear all, or you can work around with these buttons. Similarly, when you are in the development phase, you also have this tab called Project, which has an entity called Assets. This is exactly where all your objects will going to be placed, including your scripts, any material that you want to create, anything, any audio, any video, anything and everything that you want to use within your project from outside is considered to be your assets. So that's an extremely important section. When your assets grow as you're doing your game development, it's always a great idea to organize them in folders, and then you can use them. Okay, besides that, this area where your main camera is, your directional light is, and as we add more entities to it, all your objects will going to be listed right here. This is called your hierarchy. When you click on any of the objects in the hierarchy, if you want to change its properties, you go under Inspector, and it allows you to work with the properties of that item, including changing its name. Checking, unchecking will going to make an item available or not available. And each item has the properties, and you can work with these properties and play around with them. We probably won't be able to go into each and every properties detail, but as we progress through the tutorial, we're going to bring some of them. So as you can see over here, that as soon as I clicked on the directional light, it gives me this option on directional light, and at the same time I have this option also on in my hierarchy. You can go over these items by going with the keyboard shortcuts of Q, W, E, R, T, but you can also go through with these options here. For example, if I click on the hand, it let me just scroll through and just move around on the plane. That let me do that. If I click on this icon, it let me position it on X, Y, and Z axis. So actual object can be placed versus you simply moving around on the plane by leaving behind the objects. So that's the main difference between these two. This allows you to change things on axis. You can rotate them on axis. This allows you to pretty much increase or decrease an item on axis. And this allows you to scale items on axis. So as we progress through other objects, we'll be able to deal with this in a lot more detail. So that's pretty much the basic environment of Unity. If you want to start playing a game, you do not have to compile and load and run it externally. Those days are numbered. You can do it right within this environment by simply going to Game, and notice this is the beautiful skyline, and this is your plane. And as you click on the play button, it turns into blue, and now you are currently in the game view, and the camera, the only camera that we have, the main camera, this is the view of that camera. So this is how you run it and test it, and you can simply click the play button again to stop it from running, switch over to the scene mode, make changes, go back to the game mode, and this is how you play around in this environment. Hope you would have enjoyed this tutorial. In the next tutorial, we're going to explore the terrain and plane and things of that nature. Have a good one.